Hi, it's Pete Cohen here. You join me for another podcast, and I'm delighted to share with you something really incredible. Every month we have one of our members of the month, and our member of the month this month is an amazing lady. Her name is Jo Tyler. Jo, how are you, my friend? Where are you today?
I'm very, very well, thanks, Pete. And I'm in Chelmsford in Essex.
Well, what you've achieved in a very short period of time really kind of blew me away. And it was only at the beginning of this year where you posted a little video where you wanted to share with people your success because you'd seen some other people's success. So just right off the bat, tell us, what have you achieved since you've been following Mi365?
Um, do you want me to say how I was at the
You
beginning?
can say, look, tell us what you achieved first of all.
I've lost just over 5 stone. I've lost over
Wow.
107 centimeters from around my body, probably a bit more because I didn't measure myself very well at the beginning. Um, I've completely changed my health. I couldn't go up the stairs about 18 months ago without getting out of breath. And we were just saying before that I've just done an insanity class today. And I'm running. So my health has completely changed. I'm clean eating. I don't eat any sugar. I don't eat any sugar substitutes either. Just natural sugars and a bit of fruit here and there. Um, so I've just completely changed my whole attitude to health really over the last
Wow.
year.
So 5 stone. So for the people that are outside of the UK, that's a lot. It's 5 times 14. So I'm sure someone can work that out. It's a lot. And what else have you achieved? What else
Um,
has changed for you?
Self-confidence has completely rocketed. I had very low self-esteem before I started, so that has really changed. And with that's come, I started a new job on the 31st of October after doing the 12 years of the same job with the same organisation. I found the courage to make a change and I'm really loving it. A totally different environment, lots of new people, and it's been really good.
Wow. And something else has changed as well. Something happened recently. So I believe.
My partner asked me to marry him,
Wow.
and so I'm really, really excited about that. And I think he's noticed the change in me, and he's really, really supportive. And I mean, he has been marvelous this year. And I can't wait to have a big posh frock either. So I went and tried on all the wedding dresses in the shop,
Wow.
and they all fitted. So it was lovely.
Well, it was amazing to see your transformation because obviously we had never met before.
I came along to the summit.
Yes,
Um,
which was last year. I saw you were
yeah.
sitting at the front, and I saw
hmm
you very attentive, really listening. So let's just go back. First of all, how did you come across My365?
I watched some of your periscopes last year when you were wandering down your garden.
Yeah.
And though I didn't feel I was in the right frame of mind to make a change at that time. I knew that change was coming. And my 365 in January, it was just it was like all the stars aligned. It was just the right time for me to make a change. And I started right back then at the very first broadcast and went on from there. So it's really a year for me
So
to now.
that's very interesting. But I have to ask you a question about Periscope. How did you find me on Periscope?
I don't know actually. I'd seen you on the television before, so I had some interest in some of the work that you'd done, and I'd had your books.
Okay,
So that's probably how it came about, really.
fine. So you watched a little bit. You were kind of watching, but in the back of your mind, you probably knew that it wasn't the right time. So what was it in January? Because what we want to unpack here is obviously your success is incredible, but let's see who we can help, who's going to listen to this that go, wow, Jo did this, and if she did that, I get that, I could do that. What was it in January, do you think, last year that made you finally go, okay, right, I'm really going to commit to changing my life?
I don't know. I think it was a lot of different things. So I felt
Hmm.
very, very ill last Christmas. Um, couldn't play with the kids. Um, felt like I was going to have a heart attack at one point and knew that I had to make a change, not just because I didn't like the way that I'd become, just that I knew that my health was affected. And this year I turned 45, so this last year I turned 45, so I kind of knew that I had to do it now. I had to make the change before it was not that it's ever too late, but I want to enjoy the rest of my life and have a healthy life. So I think that the combination of listening to you, the rock bottom of feeling like I was going to have a heart attack when I was just really mucking about with the kids, made me think this is the time to make a change now. I actually didn't think it would be as amazing as it has been.
Wow, because it's fascinating, isn't it? Because one of the things that you've probably learned, and I've become much more aware of it, is how people have to get to a bad place in many cases before they go, and there can't be anything worse than either feeling like you're going to have a heart attack or having a heart attack to finally going, okay, I need to do something about this, and being motivated to move away from that. But just like Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich, only 2% of people in the world, and this was in the 1930s, would be very clear of, okay, this is where I am going. So I'm not surprised that you didn't realize how good it could be, because you didn't really probably ever stop to think about how great it could feel, right? Because you didn't know it.
I think that's definitely true. And I think when I look back at, I was reading the other night my journals from the very beginning. Though I was visualizing the future, it was so, I was looking really at the day. So every day I was trying to, follow the fundamentals, make sure that I was clean eating. My diaries are like, today I've 3 days no sugar, 3 days no Diet Coke, that type of thing. Very, very specific, relating to small achievements every day in order to sort of go on my journey. So they were quite, I was looking at it in a quite sort of detailed way, day to day, trying, though the vision was there, I didn't know quite how the journey was going to go, but I knew I had to start somewhere.
Wow, so you realised quite quickly that the little things I do on a day-to-day basis are going to have impact moving forwards.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very, my journey then is very, very specific, relating to what I was eating, what I was drinking, how I was feeling, things I could do better every day, whether that was, getting up earlier, whether it was meditation. I had a big thing about giving myself time to read, space in my life, because I think I'd spent so long putting myself last in my life. And it's only through this year that I've realised that you have to be a little bit selfish in order to put yourself first or make yourself a priority in your own life, because the change and the way that it's affected my family and my children and my job and everything about my life, everybody's better for me putting myself in a better place in my own little world.
And what about your friends? Have all your friends been supportive, or have any of your friends kind of didn't like what you were doing?
Most have been supportive. My family have been incredibly supportive. I have one or two friends where I play a particular role in the relationship. I am
You were
I was the short, fat, honey one.
Yeah.
And that was my role, to take the mickey out of myself and to be the one who ate, too much. And they were the slim ones, and that's that was the role that we all played. And that certainly has changed. And some of my relationships have suffered slightly because of that.
Yeah.
But, that's part of this change. And I think that if people can't go with you, then that's up to them. That's their choice. You have to make the choices that are right for you.
Yeah, it's fascinating. We were talking this morning on the broadcast about how, knowing what you want, having a plan, but the plan is the most important thing, because you can always change your plan. Then having a strong mind, and then having the support of like-minded people. What has the support been like for you of all these people who, in most cases, I would imagine you've never met before?
Through my 365 has been absolutely amazing. I think the group is phenomenal. And it's built and built and built and built over the year. some of the people right back in the beginning, like Kate, who she really, really inspired me right back at the beginning, because particularly she was clean eating right back in the beginning. And I really admired that, and I kind of followed what she was doing and tried to learn as much as possible. Going to the summit was awesome, and meeting lots of the people that you'd only sort of seen online. You know, I'm totally committed to being with people. The one thing that I would do, I think, is right back in the beginning, I was much more guarded about what I would say.
Yeah.
I was, I wouldn't have dreamt of doing this, for example. You know, doing videos was quite a painful experience back in the beginning. And I think I would say to people, put yourself out there, because you haven't got anything to lose. And this is such a supportive environment in which to do that anyway.
Yeah.
You know, nobody judges anybody. Everybody just wants to help and support everybody. So, you know, if I had my time again, I would definitely do more of that back in the beginning.
Yeah, I think fear of rejection is often worse than anything. You know, people are just worried about what people are going to think, and you know, let's face it, how many times a day does someone try and get us to buy something or do something for their benefit and not for our own? So I understand why people can often be skeptical, but you know, you're someone who could see through that and realize, okay, there's something going on here, and it's real and it's alive, and it's amazing. It's really awesome to see, to talk to you and start unpicking some of really what you did. And thank you for sharing that about Kate, because there's nothing better than looking at someone who's already done what it is that you've done, them to support you as you go through that process of change. And I get the feeling, Joe, that one of the things that you want to do moving forwards is you want to start helping more people, right?
I definitely do. I think I don't quite know how yet, and I've got quite a lot of different goals that I want to achieve this year. A lot of them relate to my health, but certainly how I can help other people that are facing the same problems that I had 18 months ago. And I think it's definitely not a diet. Don't go on a diet, go on a journey. And that's how I want to help people. Go on a journey. Think about where you want to go in little steps. And if I can help other people achieve it by, you know, looking at some of the tools that I've used to get here, I think that would be an amazing thing.
Well, you already have. I mean, you already have. Just looking at the video that you made and the amount of comments, people get inspired by that. The way I look at it is everyone loves a story. You know, whether it's EastEnders or Sherlock Holmes or whatever it is, Star Wars, Harry Potter, everyone loves a story. And everyone identifies with the characters, and really everyone identifies with the hero. So you've become a hero in your own life and an example for other people. But actually, the origin of the word hero was something I didn't know, but I do know now. A hero is a protector of other people. So you only become a hero to protect and look after other people. But as Hannah, my wife, says, you know, if you're going to work with people, always work with the willing. Don't try and will the unwilling, because that's like pulling teeth. So let's talk about some of the biggest lessons, some of the things that you've enjoyed learning in the last year. Is there anything that really kind of stands out?
I think the whole bounce back ability, just to keep going. So even when there are problems, even, you know, there are going to be difficulties on a journey, and I always just saw them as bumps in the road and an opportunity to learn, and just, you know, why did I do the things I did, if you're kind of self-sabotaging a little bit. So always using it as an opportunity to learn, never ever ever looking back, only looking forward. Because I think, especially, I mean, I've had weight problems all of my life. This is the only time that I feel I've changed my life, and there's no going back. I've been on diets, crazy ones, but this is totally different. This is a new life. I absolutely love exercise, and I've done everything I've done. I've tried to do it 110%. So I think if you want to do something, just really, really go for it.
Yeah.
You know, I do exercise, I do it 110%. You know, I take the dog for a walk 110%, go for a run, do it 110%, try as hard as I can. You know, not necessarily you're going to achieve more than you did the last time you did it, but, you know, if you put as much in as you can, you're going to get get loads out of it.
I was thinking, visualizing that, that in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey talks about, I think it's the second habit, begin with the end in mind. And I was just imagining on your gravestone, it will say something like, I gave it my all.
Yeah, but that's how I feel now. I think it's strange, really. I feel like you just go for it. I mean, there's we only get one life. My 45-year-old body, I can't believe what it can do compared to what my 44-year-old body can do. So anybody can do anything. I stand next to people in the gym who are 20 years old, and I work twice as hard as them, and I jump twice as high. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. I really think you can, but just don't expect it to happen overnight. And it is a journey, and I have absolutely loved the journey the whole way through.
Well, you just made me say something there that was really profound about what your 45-year-old body could do compared to what you're 45. That's awesome. Really, really awesome. So what else are some of the key lessons that you think have had a big impact on you over the last year?
Consistency, resilience, the fundamentals. Using them every day, journaling. The fact that I can look back now and see where I was a year ago, that's amazing for me now.
Yeah.
It was a great tool at the time to help me think about what I wanted to achieve and my visualization. But actually now I can see exactly where I've come from and the problems that I had then, and it helps me to think the path that I want to go forward. So I don't want to go recreate the same problems again. I found a way round all those little bumps, and so that really helps. The journaling really, really helped me. Visualization, Richard McCann, I can and I will. When I'm running, I'm doing exercise, I can and I will get to the end. And so we've learned little things all along the way. This year's been great, and I use the stuff that I learn with my kids. My daughter's going through her GCSEs, so I'm helping her. And today we were talking about the duck, because she's got a bit of a duck going on.
Yeah, we've all got a duck going on.
Helping her to understand her anxieties and how she can manage her anxieties. And that's a really good tool, especially for talking to kids. They don't really understand the conflict in their minds, that analogy of the duck really works with her.
Yeah, well, it's been around the ducks. People keep giving me ducks and say thank you for helping me with my duck. But I love what you said, actually. Again, that makes me just think about it slightly differently. The whole journaling, to be able to look back. I know you said before about not looking back, but it's slightly different, isn't it? To look back, to realise how far you've come and maybe how much further you can go. It's really powerful.
Yeah, with looking back, what I mean is, don't think the same things have to happen again.
Yeah.
So we all think, oh, well, I'd never done it before. Oh, I can't do it. The last time I tried, I couldn't do it. Or,
Yeah.
So stick in our heads, don't they? So don't look back. Don't think you can't do it because you didn't do it before, because every day is a new day and you can do it. Yeah. Everyone can do it.
I love it. You should start broadcasting on Facebook Live. Just don't do it at 7:00. You can do it at 7:15. I was going to ask you, so do you think that it's that you're a completely different person, or do you just think you're the real you that was always there anyway? How do you look at that?
I think I hid behind my weight before, and I let it. I had a very strange relationship with weight, I think, but I feel free to be the Jo that I want to be now.
So you mean that you was always there? It's not like,
I think this is the me that's with my family.
Yeah.
But I didn't let it be outside in the real world, because I didn't feel I was good enough.
Yeah. Well, listen, don't worry. You're not the only one. That's the biggest, I think the two biggest sicknesses in the world, or maybe that's too a stronger word, but it's I'm not good enough and distraction. People just getting distracted, and if you don't feel good enough and you've got a problem with being distracted, it's very hard to focus on anything. And focusing on yourself, obviously it takes time. It's not something that if you want to change the way you feel and even change the way you look. But incredible to see what someone like what you've achieved in a pretty short period of time. It sounded like the weight almost just fell off you, you know, but I know it's a lot more than weight, isn't it? Right? Because it's how you feel.
Yeah, and I'm a new person. I feel like it's like evangelical, isn't it? I feel like kind of reborn.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do anything now, and if you'd have asked me 18 months ago if I could do anything, I'd have said no. Please don't pick me.
Yeah.
Please don't choose me. I'd never put my hand up for anything. So, you know, and now I feel that I can put my hand up for anything, and I could give anything a good go now.
Yeah,
and it is confidence. It's confidence.
Many years ago, when I was working with a group of people who wanted to lose weight, I think I might have told you this when we spoke before. I remember just being in the room with them, and I had to kind of step back because they had become so much more confident, like a force to be reckoned with. And often when people aren't like that, they're the opposite. You know, they it's hard to put into words, but you've become an extraordinary human being who you're inspiring yourself, and there's no better person to inspire you than you. So just tell me, do you watch every broadcast at 7 a.m.? What's been your way of starting your day?
I do. Well, I've got 2 children, so it's a bit of a juggle in the mornings. So if I try and watch every single broadcast and every single elite broadcast, and anything else you do, I try and be there for if I can. If I don't think I've got it all, then I'll re-listen to it during the day. And so that might be. In fact, I've upped my gigabytes on my phone, so I've got more. I can do it on the go because I'm so busy now. But you know, at least once a day, listen to the broadcast. They're not very long, so you can do them as and when.
Yeah.
But I get up early so that I do everything before my kids get up.
Yeah.
So I get up, I do my journaling, do my meditation, I listen to the broadcast, you know, take any notes, then the kids get up. So, I try and structure my day around the girls. But if for any reason that doesn't happen, then I try and listen later on during the day. And I go back to them, and I listen to the podcasts, as we're out and about in the car and bits and pieces like that. So
what's been your favourite podcast, apart from all the ones that I've done? Of all the people I've interviewed, is there anyone that really kind of stuck out to you?
I love them all. I mean, I've got a real soft spot for Richard McCann.
Yeah.
So, anything with him, I think he is totally inspiring.
What about Gemma Magnuson? Did you like
yeah,
listening to?
I loved her at the summit as well. I think she's awesome.
You wait till you see who we've got at the next. You wait till you see who we've got coming at this summit.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's almost
really
all tied up, so we'll be able to reveal that soon.
I've got my ticket.
Yes, I know. Your golden ticket. And what would you say to people that are listening to this about Mi365?
What would I say? Well, if you're sitting on the fence, just don't. I mean, just go for it.
Go one of the other way, but don't sit on the fence.
Yeah, if you're lurking, embrace it, go for it, give it a go, take it every day as it comes. Don't worry about setbacks. Just keep moving forward. The tools are there. You just have to use them and just have to embrace it.
Yeah.
And anyone can make a change. I think if me being asleep on the sofa at 7 o'clock every night because I was so tired and exhausted and my life seemed so depressing, that was 18 months ago. And now I live a kind of crazy active life with a very, very, very positive outlook. I think if you can make that change, I think anybody can, and
go on, sorry.
Just go for it. Just go for it. That's what I think.
So where will you be in 18 months, do you reckon?
Well, I think I'm on a mission to change my body further. That sounds odd. Yeah. But toning, strengthening, it's not about pounds and ounces now. It's about health. It's about toning, building some muscle definition. So I'm working on that. That's my next kind of body project, and also going to do a 10K. So that's another project I'm going to do. I'm embracing my new role at work and seeing where that goes. But I'm also thinking about how I can embrace health, motivation as part of a career going forward, and whether that fits for me. So I think that that's a bigger picture. But I don't know. The sky's the limit, isn't it? Really now. That's the thing.
It is. It is. I mean, I think what I'd just like to say in summary is, first of all, thank you for coming on this journey. I would encourage you, as I would encourage everyone, to think, okay, there's always another level. I mean, you're the perfect sort of person to work with because you have that mentality, which is, okay, what's next? But you've inspired me, which I thank you for. I know you've inspired a lot of people, and you've obviously inspired yourself, which is just freaking awesome. I almost swore then. And I look forward to seeing your continued success. And once again, thank you so much, Joe, for really just getting stuck in and just being the closest thing I know to a superhero.
Thank you. Love it.